I'm James Walker, and this is Real Talk, Real People. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us again this week. You know, I am big on the arts, whether it's dance, music, theater, whatever. I am really big on the arts, and I'm really big on low-income kids getting an opportunity to participate in the arts. The arts is something that just never leaves you. Even at my age, I'm doing something that is artistic. My sister works in community theater. My brother is an actor who does TV shows. I have other sisters who sing and record. So despite the fact that we're not major stars, the arts are still important to us, and being involved with the arts is very important to us. And that brings us to this week's show. My guest today is Barbara Alexander, and she is the founder of the Westville Performing Arts Center. Let's get her on the show and hear what she has to say about getting low-income kids involved in the arts.
Hello, I'm Barbara Alexander. I am the executive director and founder of Arts in Connecticut, the home of the Performing Arts Academy of Connecticut. Arts in Connecticut was established in 2016, and we have been a nonprofit arts organization serving the entire state of Connecticut from that time until this one. This year, we have had an opportunity to gain more territory in our hometown of New Haven. And so now we have a performing arts center with about 7 classrooms and counting, serving our local community in-house for music, art, theater, and dance. The outreach organization, it serves.
So you have 2 parts here. You have two parts here.
That's why you got 2 websites.
Okay, okay, I get it now. Okay, so what's this other part?
So the outreach organization is the organization. We have well over about 2,000 artists that work with us. We serve after school, before school enrichment programs, live performances for schools, senior citizen programs, housing development programs, libraries, and you name
it. You name it, you do it, right?
Absolutely. So we use all forms of art, because if you think about it, everything is an art. So we have all kinds of artists, whether it's STEM, agriculture and engineering, robotics, woodworking, you name it. So we do have those type of artists. So when people come in, the difference between us and other organizations, you get to talk to us about your budget, and we customize your programs to fit your needs for your community. Because everybody, it's not a one and all done. It's not that.
Right. One size doesn't fit all. It's not that concept.
Right.
So tell me, why is this so important to have in an urban area like New Haven?
I moved from Milford to New Haven because the whole time we were in Milford, we was either serving New Haven or Bridgeport. It's so important to be right in the crust. They can be able to catch the bus where you are, and now they can really get hands-on experience without trying to go a long way to be able to do something. We want to be there for the community, and we want to be an asset that they can use, not just something like another art center. Oh, here's another. No, you should be making a difference. And that's the one thing. Every day I'm working on programs to make a difference. You should be able to say, hey, I'm a byproduct of this organization, and they helped me to be able to launch my career. I'm from Gary, Indiana. And Gary,
home of the Jackson 5, right? Am I right?
Yes. Home of Barbara Alexander. So y'all gonna know.
Okay, I'll remember that.
But yes, so in Gary, we had this program that launched my career, and it was called Saturday School. So all the kids, the gifted and talented kids, on Saturdays, we would get a chance to go to Saturday school. And if you needed homework help, at the very first hour of the day. They would give you that homework help, the guidance you needed in any of your classes. And then you'll get a chance to go to your specials of whatever that content was. You had professional artists there working with us. And I'll never forget good old Al Boswell. Al
Okay.
Boswell, you see how he made such an impact. That was eighth grade, and I'm 52 now.
I
So, but
understand,
Al
believe me.
Boswell, yes, he helped us, and it's so many of us have gone on to be able to perform in our craft because of the cultivating of teaching us real work theater. By the time we left Gary, we understood what downstage, upstage, we understood all the terminology. We knew what they were looking for when they said all on set and ready, when they tried to do all those things, we knew what the terminology was. And we're very excited about that. And I was so happy to, even though I got a chance to actually perform, even I debuted on Broadway in 2006 in an off-Broadway
All
show.
right.
Yes, and I got a chance to do some major movies, all kinds of things, and been on tour, traveling. I'm an opera singer, so I do a little bit of everything. I've had that opportunity. I also want to give back to my community so they can have that same opportunity. We shouldn't be so far-fetched that we can't reach you. We want to be right here so we can touch you, so we can make a difference in your life.
Can you tell me, are you seeing from these young urban kids a thirst for the arts? I know when I was coming up, arts was a big thing. And let's face it, all kids dream of being the big movie star, the big singer, the big stage actor. And I'm not sure that a lot of urban kids, and particularly low income kids, get this opportunity. Are you finding that your classes, your nonprofit is opening up new worlds for these kids?
I believe it is. Not only that, my dream has always been urban to meet suburban. So us sitting in our Jewish neighborhood and having urban right across the street, love it, love it, love it. You know why? Because that's the real world, and we cannot live in a little bubble. I want to train my urban kids to be able to know that you're going to be able to deal with all nationalities, all socioeconomic levels, and you're going to have the exact same talent equivalent to go out there and have the confidence to take on whatever you want to take. And we're getting a lot of students that have passions and desires to be able to do things. And the reason we became a nonprofit is because we wanted to take out of I don't have it. That's why it's so important for our community to invest in a nonprofit. So when they don't have it, we got it. We're
Right.
able to support. We're not giving a handout. We're giving a hand up so they can be able to do this on their own. If you teach them and you train them for it, they're able to do it on their own, and then they're able to give back themselves, just as myself.
Now, I noticed when I'm on your website that you have a lot of things broken down: art, theater, dance, music. Of those four,
Mhm.
what do most kids lean toward? Is it the music?
It's theater.
It's theater,
Theater, theater is the humdrum. As a matter of
really.
fact, I'm working with the theater director right now, and I'm like, "What show are you looking at?" And she's like, "Well, what about this one? What about that one?" I said, "Well, for urban kids, you got to make sure it's something they know, you
Right.
know." And so, I think we're leaning toward the whiz. So we'll see what happens with that. So I really want something to be able to pull them in. Then we could take them to what they don't know, but you need to bring them in on something they know so they can get excited about being a part of it and making it their own.
Well, if you put on The Wiz, you make sure you give me a call because I actually saw that about 10 times on Broadway with Stephanie Mills when it first
Oh,
came out. I have always been in love with that Broadway musical. I own the soundtrack. I have never been without the soundtrack since I went to see this play. I took my nieces to see this play. So,
oh,
I mean, The
awesome.
Wiz, I thought actually I was a little disappointed when Diana Ross played, you know, played the part because Stephanie Mills was so dynamic in it, you know.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
are we looking for when these kids come to you? Are you
Uh,
looking for the next Nancy Wilson, the next Stephanie Mills, or what are you looking for? What kind of makes a kid stand out and tells you that, look, I'm special, I can make it?
Well, first of all, we train them all up. The wheat and the tear is growing together. And as we continue to cultivate, you're going to start to see those rising stars pop out. And then when they start popping out, I get more phone calls from like Spielberg and all of these movies. They're constantly calling us. X Factor, American Idol, they call us all the time. Babs, you got this. What do you have now? Do you have anybody ready? Is anyone ready? When they did West Side Story, they called us, and right now they're working on something else. I forgot the name of the show. And he was like, do you have a 9-year-old Italian boy that's ready? So they know about us. They know the work that we do. And we're constantly trying to get the kids ready, because I think the kids are thinking, oh, I'm just a kid. No, they're calling right
Right
now.
now.
We're looking for them now, but I'm not sending them out until I know you're ready. Because when you leave us, you're going to shine like a star.
Now, it's really funny because the arts are one of those things that never leaves you. You can see I've been around a while. Therefore, my brother, who's a year younger than me, he's been around a while too. And
Right.
I guess about 15 years ago, he decided that he was going to pursue a career in acting. And he's made quite a success of it. Right now, he's got some things coming up. One thing I'm not supposed to mention because it hasn't been signed, but he
Okay.
has a big deal coming up on TV. He's also in Manifest in a recurring role. He's done Law
Oh,
and Order and all of those shows. So, and he is just excited. He's excited now as he was when he was a little boy, probably thinking about doing this. And it's kind of
absolutely.
amazing that he has been able to do it at his age. So, I think to get these kids in at a young age, I just think just powers them forward. But one thing I want to ask, because when people see us, they see black skin. So
Right.
they assume that everything we do is just for blacks or whatever. I
So
noticed that you said a young Italian kid. So you have there's a lot of diversity within your program.
absolutely.
Can you talk about that and why that's so important?
Absolutely. So we have gotten an opportunity to make the scale. So we have a scale so people can be able to come in and be able to meet their financial stance of where they are. So when kids come in for shows or auditions or what have you, um everybody is welcome to come in. And so we accept all people, and then those that need scholarships or grants or what have you, we're able to help those if we have the funding, which is why it's so important. I press this all the time, because people are like, well, how does the nonprofit stand? With your funds. You've got to be able,
Right?
you
You
have to
got to
be able
help us
to
out
give.
here.
Right. You got to be able to give to a nonprofit, and then we'll be able to use the funds to be able to help those children who have a need. So we're able to do that. And that's how we're able to balance the scales. And this way, a child because I'll never forget. I don't know if you even know anything about my testimony, but I had a program, and the program there are people that were like, why is it so expensive? And I said, well, I have to be able to balance the scales. I have to be able to pay for those that can and those that cannot, and they were like, well, look, I'm not paying for them. And I was like, no, 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 I am them. I am them, but we're asking for donations for them, and you just take care of yours and we'll take care of the other children. We don't want them, but the children, you could see that they felt that grief. I don't
Right.
want a child to feel that way. I don't want you to feel like you can't really explore your talent
Because you
because
don't have the money.
absolutely, absolutely. I want to take the sting out of, I don't want to say sting out of death. I want to take the sting out of you being able to be stunted before you even start your career. No, that's just not going to happen. And
Well,
this is why I am a voice and an advocate for the youth. And not only that, do you know we have more adult classes than we have children classes? Because the adults too needed classes that after COVID, it gave them a whole different sense of resilience. Hey, we need to get ourselves together.
right.
You're no good for your kids. So it feels good to be able to have the adults in dance class and the kids over in art class or in theater class. Everybody's got something to do. When you leave, everybody has been holistically fulfilled. Y'all can now go eat dinner or go downstairs at Edible Arts and just have a good time and then
Just
go
have a
home.
good time. Well,
Yeah.
I was watching some of your videos and your testimony and your call for volunteers and
Yes.
and so forth. And I see it's very relaxed. It doesn't seem to be stuffy, and it's almost like Planet Fitness, no shame, just come
That's
and
it.
work
That's it.
out and get it together. So let me ask you a question. What is it like when someone um, comes to you, they're novice, they're not sure if they have talent,
Uh-huh.
and are they afraid, or are they afraid to say step forward and sing, or are they afraid to step forward and dance, or whatever? Do they come in with confidence, or do they come in kind of sheepish
Well,
and
you have both. You have both. I've had some to come to me and they were so afraid till they didn't come back to the next year. And then turned around and got a degree in journalism and now she on television. I was like, what? So I have seen all of it, all of it. But the one thing I love about our PAC family, Westville Performing Arts Center family, they come together, they work together as a team, and they say, hey, I'll stand with you and I'll do this with you. It calms down, it takes the frustration out. And because we know that even though we have all these great elite teachers, they're there to help you. Every time I see somebody come out of modern dance class, even the little kids, I said, what? Boy, that was fun. You know why? Because they can feel the love. You can feel when somebody's really passionate about their jobs. And one thing about Mr. Wesley, he is sure enough passionate about that dancing.
now
So
who's Mr. Wesley? Is he the one in the
Wesley,
video that I see in the
yes,
video with
Wesley
the three?
Yarbo is a former Alvin Ailey dancer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a short break and
Okay.
we'll be right back. Folks, subscribers are very important to us. And if you like our content, we would certainly appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And for those of you who listen to the audio version on anchor.fm, we would certainly appreciate it if you hit that support button and support this podcast. And now, let's get back to Barbara. You talked a lot about fundraising and how important it was for the community to support nonprofits such as yours. How difficult is fundraising, and does it at times threaten your vision to give back and help in the community?
Absolutely. Fundraising is so important and it is very damaging because I feel like because we don't have the funds, we can't get the staff needed to quality give what's needed for our organization, which hinders people getting information, which hinders children and adults from entering, it really kills a lot. Whereas we could be able to give more, but we can only give a little bit because that's all we have if we don't have the funding. You can always tell when the organization has funding because we like to open it up and make it free to the community and let the community give donations back.
Right.
I want them to see what we're doing for the community, not just asking for it, but why don't you see what the investment is for? Why we're doing this? How are your dollars used? And what difference are we making in the community with your dollars? It is just important that we have something. I was just sending a message out to the board of directors because it's important. If not, you can't pay the rent, you can't keep the doors
Right.
open. can't have the classes. They're not giving us those classes. We have to pay for those classes. Every teacher that comes in there, if it's only one student and that teacher is supposed to be making $40 or $50 an hour, we can't pay the teacher. Now we gotta and 9 times out of 10, majority of the time, and this is what has been going on, is I give up my salary so I can make sure they get
things work right.
salary, because I am the founder and I refuse to let it die.
Well, let me ask you a question, because when I was senior editor of the New Haven Register, in fact, just being a journalist over the years, I noticed that funding for organizations headed by Blacks was always questionable. There was always, this organization got $10,000 and the Black organization got 500, literally $500 or $1,000. Do you find, or do you feel that because you are a Black organization that you get less funding? Or do you think that it's just arts in general that has been left behind in terms of funding?
Well, that's a loaded question.
I know.
Because as far as grants wise, we put the information out there, and we hope that we're able to showcase what we're doing, and then you'll be able to do it. But if you're looking and you send a letter out for sponsorships, we get that racism so much until it was affecting me so much until I had to rise above it and not react to the way that they were treating us. And it hurt a lot because I watched them ban us from school districts and passing out flyers to get the kids, and they would ban us and they wouldn't even tell us why they would ban us. But yet the other organization would come in, or somebody would try to do something evil, and it was not good. It was not healthy. It was not good. And I knew that I was brought here for a reason. I always feel like we're not the only nonprofit in this United States of America. Right. It is plenty to go around. I may get one, you may get two. I might get three, you may get four. However the case may be, there is somebody that I'm supposed to service, and there is someone that you're supposed to service. We should not have to be fighting among people just to be able to serve.
Just be able to serve, and certainly we should not be fighting based on color and race. Absolutely. And culture. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely. It's insane. We all take pieces of culture, of other people's culture, to make our lives whole. I mean, we can't live in an all Black world. We can't live in an all white world. We can't live in an all Hispanic world. It just doesn't make no sense. We're all here together, and we all have these unique talents that are Absolutely. Unique to our culture, and that we should be able to share with other people. But right. It doesn't seem to have stopped you, because I look and I see there's online classes, online painting classes, online this, that. Can you talk a little bit about your online classes, and are they popular? Are people responding to them?
So for right now, we've been doing a few online classes, and then we sort of tried to pause because we're trying to get in-house. But my senior population still wants to keep the online classes. So online classes are
yes, we don't like to get out much.
Right. They're still building up, and we're still having artists to work with them. I love to, more than anything, I love to have online classes free if at all possible. We were, the CARES Act helped us a lot, but I really wanted to get more donations in to do more free online classes, because I felt like it was helping people. Right. I felt like those people who didn't have the funding, or who, how many people were on unemployment during this crazy COVID time. Yes. Last thing I wanted to do was try to stress them out again. That's why I was like, you guys got to give me some kind of funding so I can be able to provide these classes. At least it gives them something to do while they're at home. They have to get their own materials, but at least they'll have it and they'll be able to work with it. So, we've been working on some things like that. I was doing free voice lessons with the the nonprofit to get, get the people actively open and singing and getting them back involved. So, I mean, we did pretty good with it, and we're still working on it now.
Barbara, I have to tell you, you have a lot going on. All of it sounds good. And I can't tell you how much success I wish for you and your organization. Is there
Thank
anything that I have not asked you that you want to make sure the public is aware of?
Well, I think that if they are interested in joining the Performing Arts Center, it is very important that they take time to go to the westvillepac.org website and look at the classes. And what classes, I always tell people, it is a conversation when it comes to me. Because I have more people saying, Barbara, I want a guitar class here, a recorder class here. I'm like, okay, well, let me take this into consideration, because they don't see the classes that they want. And then just have a conversation so I can be able to talk to the artists and say, are you available at this time? Because that you have a group of people, but it got to be more than one person. Don't think you're gonna have the whole class for just one person. So we need to be able to do that. And another thing that's really important that I don't think people really understand, the world has changed. The doors are locked. We don't want any crazy people walking in the door. So you have to register before you come to the art center, so we can, when we see you at the doorbell and you say, my name is, you're already on the roster, so we can let you in the door. We can't just have it a big open door policy, because we have children in there that we need to make sure we have protected. We want to continue to keep things safe for everyone. And please keep your mask on. I'm always fighting with the dance class. Keep your mask on.